Basically what happened is I had heard about Nancy and Jenny on Facebook, was listening to a video or audio that they had on a radio station, and had said to myself, you know, this would really kind of be awesome, somebody actually looking at suing the state. I never had the guts to do it myself, but you know, if we wanted to join, so I went and I talked with Lynn, and we decided that it was the right thing to do. We've been sitting in the background long enough that it's time for us to actually do some action instead of just talk. And so we checked into a couple things with our legality out of Connecticut, and once we realized that we actually were married out of Connecticut, we decided to give Nancy and Jenny a phone call, and they accepted us, and we joined them. Where we stand right now is we're waiting to go down to Omaha next month to the 8th Circuit Court, who will listen to our arguments. And so it's been kind of quiet lately, and just waiting for the Supreme Court as well to hear their arguments in April, and hopefully at the end of June we'll have some positive outlook.
This one is a lot of times in the medical field. We had an incident a couple of years ago when Monica was in the hospital, and they knew who I was to her, and one of the nurses had said, okay, so we'll come get you when she's taken away. We'll bring you to the family waiting room, where her mom and her sisters were going to be. So I waited, and another nurse came up to me and said, oh, you know, why are you just standing here? I said, well, I'm waiting to be taken to the family waiting room, you know, for Monica. And she walked me down the hallway, opened a door, didn't turn a light on, and said, oh, here's the waiting room that you need to wait in. So I waited, I didn't know what was going on, and the other nurse came back and said, well, what are you doing? You're just standing here. I said, well, this is where the nurse brought me. And she's like, oh no, let me take you to the family waiting room. And she brought me downstairs where Monica's entire family was. Mm-hmm. So we came up against that, like, I am her family. Mm-hmm. I'm her in case of emergency notify. And I was literally put into a dark room, just out of the way, and I'm so thankful that this other nurse recognized that and took me to the room where I was supposed to be. But those are some of the problems that you come up with. We've had to ask our doctors how they feel about our relationship before signing on with them. Most people don't have to do that. They pick a gynecologist, they pick a general practitioner, they pick a dentist based on referrals, based on other people's things. We have to ask questions first to make sure that we're not going to be discriminated against, and we shouldn't have to.
You know, the sad thing is too is that any opposite sex couple can move from one state to another, not worry about their marriage or their relationship with each other. They can just move. We have to, you know, take that into consideration. As the state of South Dakota don't have bullying laws, we don't have discrimination laws, we don't have protection. So even when this does pass with the Supreme Court, the minute some of these people say, well, I'm going down to get my marriage license, the next day they go to work, they can be fired.
Or kicked out of
their homes, because there is no security, there's no safety in the state of South Dakota. And these are things that we have to fight for.